Hello, it's Elaine with Elaine's Custom Cards, and this is the card we'll be making today. I really like this paper, and it's called Expressions in Ink, and you don't have to just make birthday cards with it. This happens to be a Christmas card. This is the outside, the inside, and for this card I used the For Unto Us stamp set for the sentiments on this. So for the inside I used, of course, the artistically inked stamp set to do this part here. So let's get started. I think the first thing I'm going to do is show you how I did this. I've already stamped my sentiment. So let's get a piece of scrap paper. I stamped this in Evening Evergreen, and then I'm going to take the Soft Succulent and a blending brush. I'm going to start off on this paper and just move over, because I don't want it super dark on here, but I do want some color. So we're going to do this first. This just makes the card a little more special when you decorate the inside. Do the other side. Just like so. Okay. So once we do that, then we're going to take the large flower, or blob, or whatever. I think it's a flower. So, and I'm going to use the polished pink on that. Put that over here. And I'm going to stamp on this with, this is Pale Papaya. And I'm going to take this blob and ink it up. I like to do this first, and then I'm going to stamp it off, and then I'm going to just stamp it over the top of my words, just like so. Okay, so that gives a little bit of color there. Okay, then I'm going to take my polished pink, and you could use the other pink. That's called, let's see, Magenta Madness if you want. Either one. Both colors are in the paper. Now I'm not going to stamp off with this because I want it dark. So I'm just going to stamp it right here in the corner of my inside mat. Okay? Then I'm going to take this image, and what I've done is I've used this one, and now I'm going to use this one. And I don't want this center just to be white or green or whatever. So I'm going to take this image and just stamp it right in the middle, just like that. Okay? And for my leaves, I used Just Jade, and I stamped off because I didn't want it super dark. I didn't like it really dark. I stamped once and stamped once again. I didn't want it to overpower what I was doing here. Stamp once and stamp again. Okay? Now you can use either Pear Pizzazz or you can use the Just Jade. And what I did was I took the dottage from Merriest Moments. There's some dottage right here, and that's what I'm using for this. If you're going to use the Just Jade, I would stamp off and then stamp so it's not too dark. Stamp off Stamp. Stamp off. And stamp. Stamp off. Now, I don't want it on top of my words, so I'm going to just stamp part of it. And put some dots there. And you can put some out here if you want. Just like so. So that's the inside of the card. And you could do the same thing to the envelope, in the corner of the envelope if you want. I stamped this one with Pear Pizzazz. Okay, now the inside's done. Let's put this card together. We'll go ahead and put the inside in the card. Excuse me. We're working on a Veterans Memorial rock at our Pioneer Cemetery here in Deadwood. And I was out in the cold yesterday, and so my throat's a little bit raspy from being outside. We're putting plaques on the rock to honor our veterans. And anyway, it was cold out there. So we got that part done. Now we're going to do this part here. Okay, this is Evening Evergreen, 5 3/8 by 4 1/8. This is a piece of the Designer Series paper. It's 4 by 5 1/2. You could probably do a fun fold with this, but I'm sticking to pretty simple. I like to do fun folds, but they take longer and I get less done. Okay, I cut this out with the Encircled in Beauty dies, and I use this one right here on gold foil. And then for this, I use the Penned Flowers dies, this die here. And then for my circles, I use the layering circles, and I use the second to the smallest for this piece, which is Evening Evergreen, and then I use the second to the smallest and just white. And I stamped my sentiments all in Evening Evergreen. So let's go ahead and glue this. This is Pale Papaya. I don't know if I said that. 8 1/2 by 5 1/2, scored at 4 1/4. Okay, I'm going to let that sit there and dry a little bit so it doesn't move. We'll go ahead and glue this on. And I will have all the sizes and dimensions on my blog, so let's get this on there. And try to make sure that you've got this to where this and this matches, and then these two sides pretty much match. You want them to be even. Okay, now I have this piece, and it is 4 inches long. And I believe I used a 1/2 inch wide strip to die cut this, so I would make sure I had enough. So we're just going to put this on the bottom just like that. Okay. You want your ends to match if at all possible. Okay, here's that piece. Okay, and then I took some Evening Evergreen ribbon, tied a bow around one of the bottles I have, and I wanted the bow to be centered, so I'm just going to snip it right there. I have a glue dot on the back. I'm just going to center that right here on the front of the card. And if your tails aren't even, you can always trim them. And I usually take tape and tape this to the back. I'll show you the other cards I made using different sentiments but the same design. Okay, now we're going to glue this to the front of our card. Make sure we're right side up. I thought this made it a really pretty Christmas card. Remember that if you're interested in buying product, right now there's a special. For $75 you get $125 worth of product, no shipping. That's signing up as a demonstrator, and then all future orders you get a discount. 20% discount. So it's a very good deal, and that's good until the end of November. And right now you can order, pre-order the Eden's Garden, a stamp set and dies, paper, and gems. So let's put dimensionals on the back of this. I used 3. On the back of this. Add it to the front. Make sure we're even. And then I use these champagne rhinestones. I thought they looked really pretty on here. So I put 3 on here. I'll put one right there. There, little bugger. Has a mind of its own. And we'll put this one right here. So that's your card. This one is the Merry Christmas. These 2. I made another one that says sending lots of love. And for that one I used the Amaryllis Bloom, which is a host set. For the inside I used Encircled in Friendship. I used this. And for the other cards, with this same paper, I made a thank you card, a happy birthday, a best wishes, which you could use for happy birthday or you could use it for happy anniversary, and then because of you, each day is a little brighter. So there's a lot you can do with these. On this I used the in color gems on here, but on this one I really like the way the champagne rhinestones looked. So that's my card for today. Oh, and I don't want to forget to tell you who won the drawing for the last week's video, which was the get them out, all the pieces, the card kit from last week. Cheryl Douglas won the drawing for last week's card kit. And I'll have another drawing for a card kit next week for a Merry Christmas, or you can use whatever sentiment you want. They're blank, the pieces. So anyway, I hope you have a blessed day and have fun stamping. And Cheryl, please email me. My address is in the link below so that I can mail you your card.